Welcome back. We continue our lessons on coercion with Kiri. Russ Hatfield here, along with my twin soul Kara, who's a member of Ashtar Command sitting 5 miles below the surface of Mars in a higher dimension. This lesson being posted on coercion is from Kiri through Mark Crocker and is called The Ways of the Jedi. The lesson in this challenge session wasn't so much a lesson, but more of an evaluation of our recent efforts at hands-on coercion training. I had been doing well on my assignment, but was looking for tips on how to do better. Kiri provided that with our guest's help by pointing out ways my efforts could be streamlined. It's one of the longer sessions on coercion from Kiri and well worth the knowledge that was shared. You can follow our online transcript at the link below of our homepage, centerforascension.org. Please subscribe if you want at the end of this lesson to be alerted to future challenge sessions, editorials from Kara and myself, and lessons from the Center for Ascension. And now, the ways of the Jedi.
Okay, talking of coercion.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I want to report from both of you on your coercion.
Yeah, I've been rocking and rolling this week. Go ahead.
Okay.
Party. I'm working on my blocks at time. People know I never had them before. Boom, nailing them. The 10-hour block, I got one, but it was somebody who already had another block before. I just got them to increase it. So I'm not sure if that quite qualifies, but I got a lot of 5-hour blocks done.
Okay, people that normally have 5, bump them up to 10. That's the objective for next week.
That's I can do that.
Okay.
Now, in the coercive form of that, I'm throwing through the whole background focusing beam, going 10-hour block. Hey, 10-hour block do you good. You like a 10-hour block? Yeah, and it's only $4 an hour.
I see your problem right away.
Okay, that's where I want to go with you.
Okay.
Let's work on this a little bit. Let's get this down.
You're making it a long sentence. Now remember, let's put yours on hold for a second. Let's see a skits report. Let's see if we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Right.
Because I don't have Treebeard's capability. Pity.
Well.
I'd be a
I wasn't supposed to do anything.
Yes, you were.
No, I wouldn't.
You were supposed to get somebody to do something for you that they wouldn't normally do. Okay, that'd be your task for next week. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Reading's cool.
Everybody's in school tonight. Okay.
No star for Skip.
Sorry,
I'm trying to remember if I did tell Skip to do something.
I don't
think you did, actually. I think you asked him, okay, what'd you do? And he, you're supposed to do that. He says, supposed to get a young person to do something. And he says, I did. And I said, but I didn't. So you said, okay, Russ, you got to do this. You got to submit a 10-hour block. I don't think you went and actually gave him anything
No,
to
I don't
do.
think
Okay,
you did.
okay, you've got to get...
That's why I'm kind of dumbfounded here.
Okay.
Right. He had that look of shock like a deer in the headlight.
Sorry about that.
Okay. For next week, Skip, you've got to get somebody to do something that they wouldn't normally do for you. Okay. Now, Russ, getting back to Russ's problem. Okay, what Russ is doing is, can you please repeat what you're doing?
All right, working on him with the
And
back.
hold on. Skip, you're going to help me here point out what Russ is doing wrong. Remember what coercion is. Okay, continue, Russ.
Okay. I'm working on him and talking to him, verbally, but mentally I'm projecting, 10-hour block would be good. Good with a 10-hour block, $4 an hour. Here's the benefits. 10-hour block. Let's push for that 10-hour. That kind of thing.
But you are thinking what?
10-hour block.
Okay, and just now you said that you were thinking also that it'd be good for them. It's only $4 an hour. Is that part of the thought process, or is that what you're telling them?
Yeah, that's kind of, I'm put into a sentence kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, in the thought process?
Right.
See what you're doing. What's he doing, Skip?
He's contradicting himself.
I am.
Yes, you are. Don't put your price in there. Just think 10-hour block. Forget what it costs per hour.
10-hour block. Buy. 10-hour block.
That's it.
Buy.
Nothing
10-hour
else.
block. Buy.
You got it, Darwin.
By putting all the extras and bells and whistles, what you're doing is you're muddying the waters. You're adding distractions. You're making too much of a thought process for them.
You're pulling their attention away from what you want them to do.
Right. Well, that's what I talk about, so I can streamline this down a little bit, get it more
10-hour block.
dialed in.
10-hour block to the point. 10-hour block, bye. 10-hour block, bye. Because, as I said, if you're putting too much emphasis on, it's $4 an hour, you're giving them a lot to think about, and a lot of it is just going.
So I'm just directing my thought going 10-hour block to the point.
That's it.
Yeah, 10-hour block, bye. 10-hour block, bye.
Okay.
10-hour block, bye.
Seems easy.
Mm-hmm. Coercion can be very, very easy. Now, when you get into the higher end of getting somebody to totally do something totally under your command, that's when it becomes difficult and complicated if you don't have the training. And I'm not going to go into that because the training is very complicated, very long, and takes a lot of practice and mental wattage.
Yes.
I got a question to ask.
What a lead up.
How do I coerce somebody when I don't do it?
Okay. Good question. A lot of coercion can be done vocally. A lot of vocal coercion is done through tones in the voice. Pure mental coercion, different group, subgroup, totally different. Voice coercion is by being of a persuasive tone, by making the person feel that it's the right thing to do, it's the proper thing to do. That's very simple, basic coercion, is manipulating somebody by what you are saying. For example, my lead up to the question that you asked was a simple demonstration of coercive ability. Are you sure that the recording device is on?
I'm checking.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, must be getting pretty close to ending.
Yeah, we got movement. That's a ways to go.
Really?
I'm probably like 5 minutes at
Oh,
least.
okay.
Yeah.
So I've got 5 minutes to kill. I was watching the chronometer up here, and it's saying there's a lot less time. Okay, anyway, back to coercion. The main thing is when you're using the voice is to use certain tonal frequencies, certain gentle tones that it might be a good idea if you come with me and help me with this. If you were to stand up, walk over here, and give me some assistance. Or by setting up a word structure of, let us look at what Russ was saying and see what's wrong. Skip, you can assist me in that.
Okay,
That in
then
itself was an example of voice coercion.
I did do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, since the last time we was together.
Okay, that doesn't count. You've got to do it again. Because we didn't give you a project.
Okay.
I was remiss and I forgot. And I was being a flight and I thought I had.
But I got
hadn't.
it through voice coercion.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but you see, what I did when I was when we were looking at your questions to start off with, Russ, was that I coerced Skip into assisting me by using just my voice.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't use any capable powers. I didn't use Mark's coercive ability. I didn't use mine. I didn't use anybody's apart from my voice.
Okay.
All right. I have a Jedi question. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the Star Wars trilogy, or at least you could have looked in Mark's penguin-filled cupboards to find one. And in that, you notice where, like in the first movie, Obi Wan comes into town on the speeder with Luke, and the guards stop him, and Jedi, of course. Obi Wan says, "You don't need to detain this person," or whatever he says, and the guard goes, "We don't need to detain this person."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now there is a perfect form of coercion that my readers really want to hear about, and
Okay.
how is it the Jedi is doing it? What is he doing? And is it possible to do it in real life?
The impression that I got is that for the entertainment, they vocalized what he was actually thinking.
Okay.
That they put it in to vocalize his thought processes, what he was actually thinking, as opposed to what he was saying.
So it was like thinking out loud.
Yes, thinking out loud, but for the viewers to be able to see what was actually going on. More than likely, my guess would be that he was actually thinking, you do not need to check the vehicle, you do not need to check anything.
Right.
Those aren't what we're looking for.
Right. And when Luke says, how'd you do that? I thought we were going to get caught for sure. And Obi Wan says, well, the weak-minded are often susceptible to whatever.
Exactly. But I think that whole entire thing was so that people could understand what was going on. Not so much as part of the plot, but they had to vocalize what was actually being thought. And to emphasize it, they had the young man do what, or say what he said.
Now, for somebody on this planet to use similar technique, they'd have to be, I would assume, a Grandmaster class coercer to pull off something in a similar vein.
Not necessarily.
Really? Do tell.
Not necessarily. For example, by being a strong-willed individual and being able to focus in on what somebody's saying in such a way that you're looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can perceive that where they are heading on what they're saying, you can speed up their process by giving them more of an interested look when you're actually thinking, okay, speed up, faster, faster, I need to know where you're going. Or, yeah, the look of, yeah, I'm interested, but this is as boring as hell, it's time to end it. If you ever notice that sometimes people will be talking and the person's looking at them very intently, and all of a sudden they just stop in mid-sentence, it's because the other person is either very bored by what is saying and they're trying to look like they're very interested. In fact, what they're saying is, finish, stop, this is boring.
Okay.
And what the person actually does is stops.
Well, that's one of the reasons I'm trying to get Mark to see the new Star Wars movie, because the Jedi in that use some very good techniques.
Mm-hmm. Don't underestimate Mark's coercive ability.
No, I know, but I mean, it's just, I'm watching this going, wow, this is some really good stuff to learn from on a proper use of coercion.
Mm-hmm.
Never once do you see him use it for personal gain or anything. It's a very good demonstration of positive coercion.
Mm-hmm. Positive coercion is very, very important. And there is, as I've told you in the past, things that you do not do when you coerce. Not to say that people will. And we've always been very, very careful in how we word things so that there is as little as possible of the ability to take what we give you and then use it in a negative way.
Anyway, I think of a very enlightening way of looking at that.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to hear that that is possible in our life. For just regular people.
Yeah,
I think it's a matter of being just awareness, isn't it?
To a certain extent, yes.
I mean, it's how aware you are with the person and the surroundings that you're in is how well you can do in coerce and working with them.
Also, it's the receptive ability of the other individual. As you brought up, a weak-willed individual is a much more receptive vessel to be told to be quiet, to shut down, to go away, to do whatever, than a very strong-willed individual or a very deep-thinking or a strong-minded individual. The weaker the individual's mental capability or thought processes or comprehension, the easier it is. I can think of quite a few individuals that are so easy to coerce within your, both of you's immediate sphere of influence that it would be good practice to use that coercive ability to benefit not just yourselves, but them in their advancement of awareness. Just using mental, not saying, but using mental coercion.
Mm-hmm. Because young people have that strong will established until they get a little bit more education.
Well, I'm not saying just young people. I'm saying that there is a wide spectrum of people within your immediate sphere of influence that would be useful tools for you to learn how to use that coercive ability, even vocally in Skip's case and mentally in your case, Russ.
Well, I have an uncanny knack of being able to talk my way into or out of just about anything in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had that.
Mm-hmm. That's because you know how to use voice coercion in a way that is very beneficial.
Never thought about it as coercion.
If you look at the term coercion, it means to control something by your will. Okay, so controlling somebody by your will by using your voice is...
Yep. Yeah, I got you.
And using your mind to do the same thing is...
Yeah.
Okay. No, Skip, I'm not going to tell you how to build a warp core engine. You asked me to do that.
I love you, darling. Thank you.
Thank you. I love you too, sweetie pie. Okay.